Hi again. I'm going to read a poem. It's one of the Cassandra poems I've been working on. And I've not read this one in public before, and we'll pretend this is public. Cassandra learns how to... Oh, sorry, I also have to say some things. There's a lot of wordplay, or some wordplay in this poem. Every time you hear the word numb or numbing, the B is in parentheses. So it's N-U-M, open parentheses, B, close parentheses. And if there's, any other verb tenses, you'll figure it out. But I just thought I'd say it. And then one of the lines at the end, one time it's past, P-A-S-T, and the other one's past, which, P-A-S-S-E-D. Just thought I should. That's why I hadn't read this one in public, because it's doing things that I didn't know how to explain, and I'm learning here. Cassandra learns how to mean less to mean more. 1. Cadgy and Rangy amongst the commuters. The men with their newer gods' desperate control pick a different block every day, unavoidable. To block and bullhorn. You're all doomed. Repent. Don't suffer for no reason alone. 2. When waiting for the walk signal, Cassandra tells them the truth they will not keep. That the only counted futures are one's power stroked and noted down by those who scoop and taste a future like they do a fancy umami salt marrow appetizer. Or numb tongue sweet creep ice cream, or about a too long didn't read hot take on how what once was consumed has run out. Numb. 3. Needless to say, that prick Apollo has left her unable to ever scoop. Leaves her to spoil and boil in a future where she keeps being told, learn to code, bro. Learn to hustle and rustle up grub, bro. No one likes poetry anyways, bro. 4. For Cassandra, lack of readership is a relief. An itchy safety in being ignored. But then Instagram turns home mad. Its muse's now algorithm for the quick swipe catharsis of a microwave age. Beep, beep. Sears, seared tongue and throat. 5. Cassandra needs a renewed plan, or something numbing to jaw her fears against. I'm going to read tea leaves and tell people we're doomed, don a placard, pick up a fresh block like a scab, one street closer to downtown than we're to... I'm going to start that little one again. I got distracted by something. The font changed and it distracted me. ADHD. I'm going to read tea leaves and tell people we're doomed. Don a placard, pick a fresh block like a scab, one street closer to downtown than where today those noisy believers stand. Yep, I'm going to spoiler their message and hope their future becomes a false one because I hopped on their bandwagon like some wannabe Oilers fan in a blessed April. 6. Maybe if I wait for all the shoes to drop, she thinks, all the jackets, all the rest of their still warm clothes in still warm bodiless piles, then my own soil-stuck rapture will be a single tick later than their by the Bible one. 7. Maybe then real futures for all us believers. Hope in her backpack, next to her bus pass meds. Cassandra's overlapping monologues, solo Greek choruses, is how she must practice tying her almonds together in a runaway's bow brindle bundle. Not Gordian knots, but yes, straitjacket or a Boris, particular entanglements, sayings to flip coins by, wavicles, verbal allusions that listeners must unkink for themselves. truths of their own making, such as, this too shall be past, this too shall be past. Keep still or be still, move on or be moved upon. Nothing is just everything on vacation. These are all going to be Cassandra poems. They're all much longer than poems I ever, consistently wrote before. It's usually a one-pager, not like... I looked up one, 740 words. What am I doing with all those words? Oh. So, a while back, when I really get pissed off at someone, I try to see what anagrams I can make of their name. Now, Elon Musk is not that many letters. Piers Morgan made the best ones. I might just do a poem where I just list them all. So Lone Skum, with a K instead of a C. Lone Skum is what I lovingly refer to a fellow Canadian Lone Scum. Cassandra sees Lone Scum win another prize. 1. Mr. Shark Eyes, congrats. You are officially the most divorced man who ever sat squat like a toad to whisper in the ear canals of those who'll cash your Venmos until collapse. All televised, they strip the sash and tiara from Cheney, tickle him. I always have trouble with this line. Tickle him in the ticker until he best case believes in empathy for some. Then place that crown of blood emeralds and of bold cliches standard gold borrowed from Fort Knox atop your costly Turkish locks. Lucky fuck about to flop, silly marble mouth gumming your plot to refill coffers over full, emptied. 2. Like your rockets, Tesla stocks learn gravity, hubris, a mother's sick love, that a father's not a sperm donor gone AWOL, no matter how many emeralds he slips into your palm or pocket, or how many turkey basters of spunky scums you provide to baby mamas, as you special K all our everything away. 3. I now know what you know. Power is only a tool like fire. Yes, a flame can cauterize, cleanse. Yes, a flame can steal 10% of the trees in one summer haze. Yes, a flame even makes any ghost story more true. Flicker shadow, chiaroscuro suspense, red sun omens, matchhead dreams of car dealerships torched. All the laughter at your expense, sputtering, catching, dying down, only for the embers catching again. 4. I wish I could set Poe on you. Shut you up in a wall while the party happens upstairs. Lil echo behind the plaster. As you thirst and hunger like a gazin babe, but not innocent. No heartbeat from the floorboards or black cat hauntings to bring you back down from your feverish spectral orbit. 5. No matter the prize, Lone Scum, you are no god or godson. You've proven yourself just like any of us, corrupted, dying slow or long, a speck of this civilization, a canker sore spreading whip-crack pain for now. But I now know down to my gut that nows pass by quick and sloppy, slipping down the entropy drain again, faster. 6. Lone Scum, your true name will be a tomb curse, a must stagnating for eons, until whiffed by a new type of human grave robber as he strips the gold from your everything. Unclaimed weird skeleton smashed on the ground, and my greatest hope, your name erased from history. I kind of I'm reading them backwards chronologically. The first one was the newest, that one was the middle child. It has the anger of a middle child. And this one is the one I wrote first. And it is also about Lone Skum. Oh, and part of the project, I keep thinking about, like, if I was Cassandra, I'd try to find workarounds. Like, that's why I imagine she tries video. Like being a camera person, journalist. So that it's not words. Try to find workarounds and see. I'm also thinking, like, at night, is she, like, it's a whole thing. Yeah. The project, sometimes I'm like, I'm just going to do a novel in verse. We'll have fun. But, I don't know. So, yeah. Cassandra holds a video camera in the Oval Office. Some water first. One. Refuse the wrong God once, and no one will believe you about the big things. Coups and defenestration, hubris, acts of gods, faulty bouts of flirtation. Beware a clear view from atop your hill. Beware disappointing the too powerful. Give a man enough times enough and he thinks he's a demigod at least. Let a man expect the impossible accomplished on the regular, and planes and rockets fall from the sky, and rows of satellites crisp up to char entering Earth's atmosphere. 2. New seer rules. Don't trust a tycoon who offers a future horse for a present handjob. Take not a present from Apollo with the price tag left on. Whoops, so I know how much I'm supposed to submit in return. 3. Even the bored boy rubbing a booger on a famous desk will not believe me. This is a room of disbelief, loud and shiny, like the motorcycles I warned those boys about, the sly boys who shrugged to death, chrome mouths and clickety-clackety fingers, hair like good bud. 4. I predict that despite an unholy high thread count and proximity to the powerful, even the eagle on the carpet will catch bird flu. So I will not lie or be pulled like a rug, and I will not lay my bare belly against the plush or let them step on my proud back. They've even made video unbelievable. Now I feel cornered, go quiet, need new tools and loopholes. 5. When unleashed forces shock and awe my voice until my tongue plays dead. When they let loose the dry ice to fog my mind, only my righteous fists and teeth and feet are left to balance out the reckoning through pain. 6. If that's how they want us to meet, I'm ready. My arms will not be easily opened. My trust will be a shit coin with no takers, an empire dying loud and shiny, asphalt burn, DOA, organs on wheels. I get to the end of that poem, and like the first time I did an edit of that poem, like I'd let it sit for like a week and then went back to it. I added the DOA in. And that day when I went to a protest, someone skidded out on their motorbike right in front of us at the protest. And so, yeah, it's just like, I'm not a person, I'm a materialist. Like, I believe I don't really have that type of belief. I never had it. As a kid, my nickname was Curious George. Because I asked a question. I always had a question. Partially because I didn't. Now knowing that I was an autistic kid. In my memories of my childhood, I remember feeling confused a lot about behavior. So, like, I don't believe that that's just coincidence. There's other stuff, like other stuff is just pattern recognition. I think a lot of people who have a pattern recognizing mind and who have some sort of hyper focus for whatever reason that makes you a good guesser for what's coming down the pipes, but also makes you not the kind of person who is easily believed. That's where this project kind of comes from. It comes out of those feelings. And I was so... Here's the other thing. It's maybe a project I had planned on titling it I Told You So, Cassandra Poems. Just lean in, right? Then fucking Harris gets up and says, oh, she says it, like, I'm not saying I told you so, but I told you so. And now I'm like, fuck, I don't know. I don't want her, I don't want to think about her anymore than she's made me think about her. Yeah. Have I hit anyone else with poems? Carney's gonna get one. Carney's gonna get one once I've absorbed his je ne sais quoi. He speaks French. He knows. But boy howdy, I'm ready to be I need the world to impress me. And not the world. It's not the world, not the people. Like, I need the leaders and the wealthy and the people who own companies and shit like that to impress me morally. Just gotta crack my knuckles loudly like a psycho. Okay, no. Let's see. Something I've thought that would be useful. I don't know if I've brought this up before. I'm on a lot of meds. Join clubs with each other. For the metaphors. For the, like, codes. We need to think, why does rap play with language so much? It's to hide things from the powers that be. Integrate in group and out group. Same with Cockney slang. Because, so I thought about this a while back before the abortion ban was more fully entrenched. That everyone should get and then before, all these fighting, should get a pen pal from Canada or Mexico, whatever. An excuse to cross the border. Going to visit a friend in Canada. Oh, who is it? Oh, it's someone. Like, never talk about abortion with the pen pal. And the pen pal's in the know. It's so someone can get here if they can to get an abortion here. I'm just an excuse. Just someone who will sign off on getting you here. And, because I'm worried that if people don't have something like that, it's just it narrows the amount of people who get over the border for help and stuff like that. Although I don't know that may not be as applicable, but stuff like that, like anyone who's seen the film Practical Magic, part of the plot is a phone tree, and that's where everyone, like, it's shaped like a tree, so it's like shaped like a pyramid scam. So the top person who's going to be the head of that, who talks to two people, and everyone is responsible for phoning people down the tree and giving whatever information is needed. We need that. We need to remember some things that have happened recently. Like, think about hinge points in services. That could be that other groups. I hear stories about, like, remember the people who just, like, knocked out the power by going after the I'm losing words. The electrical grid, like transformer. I want to say transformer. Remember the person who blew up a car in front of one of the Google headquarters things? Not the Google people headquarters, like one of the hubs. Knowingly or unknowingly. That's where he chose. Other things that are useful. Trying to think in the we as much as possible. And I've been trying to think of a list of questions to pose when you're given information. Someone says something, like anything that RFK comes out with. Yeah, ask, who, like, to whom? Okay, we're going to gather up autistic people and put them in camps, which is going to be good. And you say, for whom? They think transactionally. So for, like, who's the power going to? If the power, give away power to one group. To whom? For whom is this being done? For who benefits? And then there was another one that was like, this is like, how much? Well, I care about this. How much? Like, and I'm not talking about finding out, like, oh, I'm a better leftist than you. See? I just did that. Not a good leftist. That was ableist. Silly Claire. We all have stuff that we're like, if we care about it, we work on it. How much? Like, yeah, how much? I don't believe that trans women should play in sports. It's not my belief. That's an imaginary person. How much do you care about that? Would it change your vote? Would it change your volunteering for a party? Very often I see the first answer. We need to train ourselves to look for questions like that we can just have a list of like 6 questions, and every time we're given a piece of information. Is this making me feel very strongly? This, my mom came up with this. She's fucking genius. She goes, oh, whenever I get a piece of information or email, it's emails from older family members. Whenever I get like, a chain email or whatever, she goes, is this, the information in this, is it trying to make me feel very strongly about it, sad or strongly angry? If so, she double checks who's published it. She looks further afield for more information, basically. And she just questions. She steps back and question. And it's done, she's not on Facebook, which helps too, but she's doing very well with this stuff. I'm lucky. But yeah, we just need to get... Oh, another thing that's good. Moon is a Harsh Mistress by Heinlein, who, troublesome guy. But the plot of this book, which is, I've read it, it was like in my house as a kid. I think I read this book at 13. Moon is a Harsh Mistress is about a moon colony. And it's being taxation without representation. And they have to find a way to make the least gettable secret, like, political organization. And he defines it like you have a cluster of, say, 5 people. Only one of them gets information. And it's not about hierarchy, it's about one of them gets information and puts it in a box. They all get the information, but none of them, they only know they weren't the one who sent it. that comes from an email goes to all 5 of them. And that means, like, if one person gets scooped, they don't know who knows. Stuff like that. I'm remembering this. Last time I read this book, the copy I got at a misprint, and it was just the rest, the book started again. So the last half of the book I've read one less time. Yeah, this is going very long. I get a bit chatty. But I don't know what's helpful. Just throwing out ideas. Like, if you guys organize a protest, everyone arrive, and it's at like a media event, everyone arrives separately. One person loudly goes to the aisle, lies down, and screams as loud as you can for as long as you can, and lies down. Or does stuff until they're removed. And then guess what? The next person gets up. The only thing we can do when it comes down to it for a lot of things is waste their time, waste their money. If someone's handing out pamphlets for fascism, go up there and say you have a lot of friends who would be interested, but they all drive, so they're not here. Could you get extra copies? Well, that's fewer copies than are going out to other people. But also, they get it in their head, and you have to find different reasons. Everyone can't going up and saying the same thing. Just, could I grab a couple? They're gonna, next time they come, which then they always come back. The next time they come, guess what? Their printer costs have gone up because they've printed extra copies. If you see a politician on a cell phone, and he's someone who does evil, or she's someone who does evil, or they're someone who does evil, probably secretly they, get in their ear. Just talk loud. I think it would be funny. Just talk very loudly about a disgusting medical condition. Just really loudly. Don't hold doors open for them unless you'll get fired for doing that. If you're ahead of I know this is not as likely because they're rich and they have other people to do shit for them, but just waste their time. Oh, put in the wrong pin on my thing. That dude's in a lineup behind me. Have fun with it though. Be silly about it, or be I think it would be a good protest if people just showed up wearing rags and put ash all over their face and just stood. I'm imagining this at an outdoor event where it isn't seating. Just stand there. Go to as many events, one person does that at every event. It doesn't make a noise. I just think there's ways, I'm in Canada, and I will say it for the convoy people, I have to give it to the convoy people. That is a weird start of a sentence, I understand. They had fucking portable hot tubs and shit. They had bouncy castles. They had I've been to protests with music. Make it disruptive and fun. Make it disruptive. Make it iconic, for fuck's sake. Make it... I just, think of the photos from previous protests. What sticks in your mind? There's the guy throwing the Molotov cocktail. There's the dogs who join protests. First of all, I'm going to die on it. There's one hill I will die on. No, there's a whole bunch. But there's one that probably the petty... No, I think this is important, actually. I have many pettier things I would... How dare we make dogs be cops? We could train a dog to... All the dogs that are, drug sniffing to sniff out cancer. That might come down to it going forward with... Oh, God. I'll cry if I talk about that. But like, having had cancer 3 years ago during the pandemic, I the cancellation of all the studies that are likely to come up with treatments that I can actually take if the cancer comes back, which it might. When you get cancer at 37, there's such a higher chance just because ideally you're going to be on the planet for enough time. For like, yeah. See, I got off track. But yeah, no. Waste their time, waste their money. Find out whatever your politician who gets you riled up the most. Find out what they love and disrupt that. I don't know how you disrupt. And I'm not saying you don't even need to do anything big. I have a thing where Danielle Smith is my fucking premier. And I think it would be funny if we all just, anyone in Alberta who has, writes her a letter. Complete. The only thing that should be different than the letter you would write to her, or email. Letter works better. Rhyming accidentally. Just, Dear Daniel Steele. That's the only difference. Call her Daniel Steele. If enough people do it, they will have to have a meeting about it. And when they're having a meeting about that, they're not doing evil. Waste their time and money. Disrupt what they love. Be rascal. That's my claim. That's my character from going forward with all this shit. I'm rascal. There's going to be a rascal Cassandra poem, that's for sure. Anyways, I know my last video hasn't been watched at all. I'm just going. But I'm just going to keep doing this. See what happens. What else have I got to do? It also, Free Palestine. Throughout my day, my brain randomly just goes, they're so hungry. They're so hungry. They're so thirsty. They're so exhausted. Free Palestine. From the river to the sea. Love y'all. Thanks. Solidarity.